Hello, it's Scott Manley here, and today we are looking at stable orbit, and in a stable orbit above the Caribbean is this space station, the core of a space station in 2034. Your job is to manage this, build it out, and make it into an awesome space station. Now, you may have heard of stable orbit previously. It has been in early access since October. I haven't played it until now for various reasons, but it just got an update. This is the vector update. It now improves the graphics and various other things. Most notably, the station nodes are now attached by these, nodes that look like the common berthing mechanism used on the real International Space Station. So that's how you attach crewed modules together. This is an international space program with the US and Canada and EU and all that. I do note that there's no British flag there, so either Britain goes back into the EU or their space program's rubbish. So let history decide what happens there. So let's actually start building this out. We need to have everything to keep our crew happy. Well, I'm going to start out actually by building a truss downwards here, because this is where I'm going to attach... Actually, you know what? I'm going to build my truss upwards. That's what I'm going to do. Because people want to look at the Earth, so let's do that. We'll build the truss upwards by... And while that's building, I'm going to... What do we need here? We're going to need to have a lab and all that. Going to need a radiator here. Let's actually build a truss segment downwards as well. So click on there, build that. We'll attach stuff to it. Now, the spacecraft is kind of moving over the Earth a little faster than I think it should, but more interestingly, the day-night cycle is hugely accelerated. You'll see the clock here running very, very quickly, and time acceleration doesn't really, I guess it does change the rotation above the Earth, but there is no physical link between the rotation rate of the Earth and the flight over the Earth and the motion of the Sun. It's just that way for gameplay reasons. Okay, let's actually start attaching the stuff that we need for the crew. So they're going to need food, and they're going to need water. There we go, water tanks, that's good, buy those. And up here we can start adding solar panels. We'll just add the one solar panel for now, small solar array. And we'll need a battery because we need to store the power overnight. It's pretty good start. And down here we can add a radiator when we start to worry about heat. So wait a second, we've got oxygen. We need to add oxygen, right? So let's attach those here. No, that's a bad place for them. Where would be the best place to attach some oxygen on this thing? Problems to be answered. Let's actually build out a module at the front, a node here. Node, buy that. There we go. And at the other end, we can add a little shuttle dock, where shuttles will come and deliver budding astronauts to the station. Budding? No, astronauts reproduce by budding. Okay, so... To produce new money, we need to have a science lab, so that's kind of important. Without the science lab, you're kind of stuck. I'm going to put a small habitat on there, and then when this node gets built, we'll add some oxygen. Let's accelerate this forwards here. We currently have 2.1 weeks of oxygen, presumably for the one crew that we have on board. We can add another oxygen thing to it. There we go. So there's the habitation. We don't have the power just yet, but it's all about managing it. Right now, the game mechanics are very, very simple. So the way you generate revenue is simply by having labs, and it is early access. We're going to see huge changes to this game over time. Okay, so what happened? Oh, we're taking damage from overheating, so I should probably build a radiator down here. Darn! Radiator, build, or buy. So that's unfortunate. We just have to wait for that thing to come online ASAP. Note that we now have 1 week of oxygen. Okay. So yeah, I guess there are things we need to worry about. There, we got the radiator set up. So now, do we have anything that needs repaired? Repair. Gonna have to set my crew repairing it. And that means they won't be generating money for me. Oxygen. I wanted to add an oxygen tank here. Now, you can have an oxygen generator, which will refill your tanks, but that takes quite a lot of power. So right now, I'm adding tanks, and that has extended my stay for 2 weeks, but soon we're going to need to attach an oxygen generator somewhere and somehow get enough power into it. So this will be the place... This will probably be the place to add the oxygen generator, sure. Where's oxygen? No, oxygen. Oxygen! Yeah, 1,000. Gotta figure out whether I want to repair things or... Oh, the batteries are low. Man, so many things to manage. What should I build first? Should I build the oxygen generator? Let's build this truss out sideways. I mean, early on it's quite... You know, you gotta work within your budget, but later on you can set the station up that's kind of self-sufficient and stable, and you don't need to worry about any of these things. So I'm just gonna have this stick out and then add another solar panel so that our power supply is maintained at a reasonable rate. If we do find ourselves running out of more oxygen, then we can add more oxygen tanks. We don't need to ship oxygen up. Okay, so we've got crew. We don't have enough power. There we go. Let's... Oh, power's gone out again. I need to build it. I need to build this even further out, I think, so I can have like a big arm out here with all the stuff. Bye. We have... I guess actually what I could do is put the solar panels there. Let's put a small solar array right there. Just hope that the spacecraft coming in doesn't crash into it. Plenty of nodes, but not the most elegant spacecraft I've ever designed. I can see the Italians down there mocking its terrible lines and saying, "Look, how dare you create such a terrible looking thing? Haven't you seen Ferraris? That is a thing of beauty." Well, maybe not. Okay. 2.6 weeks. Let's run time forward and see how we do. So with more solar panels coming online, we should start dealing with our power situation a little better. As long as we can keep generating oxygen and power and everything, we should be fine. Like, as long as your core station is able to generate oxygen, has a docking node so it can deliver food and everything, then, and has power, and has a lab. Yeah, okay, you need all those things. As long as you've got those and you've got a week of everything, then you should be able to generate money and eventually become self-sustaining. But it's possible to build yourself into a corner and be unable to proceed. That's us traveling over the Middle East there. Okay, and you can see, let me see. That there is the Red Sea down there. So there's the Suez Canal up in the far end there. That's the Red Sea. And over to the other side will be... wait a second. There, that will be the Persian Gulf over there. But we're now heading off into the Indian Ocean. I think I've got all my geography figured out there. Although I should point out we're not actually heading into the Indian Ocean because this is a space station which will fly over the Indian Ocean. Important distinction there. Anyway, we are getting to the point where we can almost build that oxygen generator. When we do, we will be swimming around in our beautiful, huge supplies of oxygen. I think it needs like 1,000, right? Oxygen. Oxygen. 1,000. Come on. Come on, crews. Science harder. Science harder, or there will be no more oxygen for you. What are you? I mean, this is taking a long time. Are you guys all asleep or something? Actually, they might be because we do have a shift system where they all go to sleep at certain times. Generate some science, damn it. There we go. Oxygen generator. Bye. And that should now mean that we're self-sufficient. If the crew have any trouble, they can disappear back to Earth for a little while until we solve the problems, and then everything will regenerate. So let's build another truss here. I'm gonna build like a truss out sideways that has all my radiators. This one is gonna go out sideways as well, but we're gonna add bigger and bigger things to it. There we go. I'm gonna add the much bigger solar panels and everything. Now we are having trouble with our batteries overnight, so we need to build some batteries somewhere. Just stick one like right there. Also, I think some of these trusses need repairs. Okay, we'll do that. And batteries, they need repaired as well. Of course, repairing things... Oh, actually, that fixes our problem, maybe. Oh no, never mind. Oh, look, we're actually getting through a whole night now that we have sufficient battery power, so we're actually fine on that front. We are getting kind of hot in terms of heat, so let's put some more radiators on here. So the gameplay right now is terribly simplistic, but you can see the core of a good idea is there at this point. So, obviously, if you're not 100% convinced by what I've shown you here, then you shouldn't buy it. Because early access titles, if you're not 100% sure, you shouldn't get into them. But give it time. Don't write it off. And if you don't like it right now, see how it improves. And I expect that this will turn into quite a well-developed title eventually. Okay, let's... we're going to start putting the bigger solar panels out here. We get 2 weeks worth of oxygen. And 2.1 months off water. Yeah, I guess we could just attach... I'm just wondering whether I should attach solar panels in this direction. I think I'll just use this for storage. We got oxygen. Yeah, let's put some more oxygen tanks on. We have oxygen there and there. We can begin to extend this forwards as well. Obviously, you need to have lots of stuff. You can use the giant trusses for storage, but your crew stuff all needs to kind of connect together. It's interesting to note that they use the common berthing module for all of these things, even although that is not how it would work in real life. The common berthing system is designed to allow astronauts to pass through it rather than just to attach anything. This is separate, incidentally, from the docking adapters, the docking systems, which are... The whole thing with docking is that it's designed to be with a spacecraft, whereas these are designed to be more permanently attached, and they're maneuvered into position generally by robotic arms, the Canadarm on this space station, which we don't have. I kind of miss that. Honestly, I do miss having... It would be nice to have working, you know, nodes getting brought up and delivered and everything instead of just being extruded from the station. You'll notice that this is flashing on and off because it's only generating oxygen when the oxygen supply drops and there's room to generate some. So we don't need to build any more of those. That's 2 of these. I think now once we get up to a reasonable size thing, we should start building like a medium solar array. Just you wait. Now, I believe there's also ways to manage your crew and everything as well. There are crews in here. Fred Lout and Ezra St. Christopher. And in here, the core has Mohammed Stone. There we go. Oxygen generator's doing its thing. Oh, has this been damaged? The food storage needs to be repaired as well. That's better. We don't want to have damaged food in this system. Probably lets it get all stale as it's exposed to the space air. Now let's see if I can put a medium solar array on. Yeah, a medium solar array will produce so much power. And then I can start decommissioning some of the other ones and make this thing look a little more like a reasonable space station. I'll have like big solar panels extended out on trusses in this direction. I'm gonna get rid of this thing first. So yeah, final version will also include things like, you know, having to deal with orbital decay and stuff like that. Okay, let's mark all as red. And I also hear that there's ways to manage the crew, but I'm not bothered looking for that. Oh, I guess up here, yeah, so you can change their shifts, for example. So let's have them on 3 different shifts. So we've got somebody working all the time. It takes a little bit for that to happen, but as soon as that's done, everybody works whatever. So anyway, as I said, it is an early access title. You know, this is a partial representation of what to expect eventually. And, you know, if you are convinced, then feel free to buy it. It's on Green Man Gaming. It's by Green Man Gaming. It's for sale on Green Man Gaming. It's also on Steam directly if you just want to go directly through that. And yeah, let's keep an eye on this. I'm Scott Manley. Fly safe.